Across European history, Christians often harbored lasting hostility, discrimination, and persecution toward the Jewish people. Beyond religious tensions, the roots included social, economic, cultural, and political factors. This complex web of prejudice is collectively known as anti-Semitism. Here, we focus only on historical events, without delving into theoretical explanations. Jews who refused conversion, preserving dignity in humiliation. Throughout history, most Jews rejected conversion to Christianity. Even under extreme pressure, some outwardly complied, but internally never accepted the idea that they were inferior. Because of this, the Church frequently sought to break them spiritually, destroying their dignity and identity. In 1215, the Roman Catholic Church decreed, all Jews must wear a badge identifying them as Jews or be executed. This Jewish badge became a symbol of humiliation. Anyone wearing it could walk the streets only with bowed head and might be cursed, stoned, splashed with filth, or spat upon. Jewish daily life became surrounded by hostility and contempt. Arbitrary expulsions, when Jews became the cash machines of kings. The policies of European rulers toward Jews were highly arbitrary. When displeased, they expelled them. When in need of money, they confiscated Jewish property. And when tax revenue declined, they invited them back. 1182, the King of France expelled all Jews and seized their property, only to invite them back later for taxation revenue. 1253, England expelled all Jews except royal servants, forbidding them from taking any belongings. Historically, there were 34 major mass expulsions of Jews from European regions between the Middle Ages and the modern era. Expulsion typically meant homelessness, bankruptcy, and often death. Spain, the most thorough and brutal expulsion. Spain presents one of the most tragic chapters. Under Arab rule from the 8th century, Jews lived relatively peacefully. But beginning in the 13th century, as Christian forces reconquered Spain from north to south, Jewish life deteriorated sharply. In 1391, anti-Jewish riots killed 100,000 Jews across Spain. Thousands were forced to convert to Christianity. These converts were called New Christians, conversos, Marranos, a Spanish word meaning pig, a deeply insulting label. Many Marranos practiced Christianity outwardly, but secretly preserved Jewish customs, holidays, and rituals. The Catholic Church viewed them as a threat to the purity of the faith and therefore created the notorious Inquisition. Using torture to interrogate false believers, the Inquisition often sentenced secret Jews to death by burning. Over its 300-year history, 400,000 people were tried. 30,000 were executed. The Inquisition was not abolished until the 19th century. 1492, a national catastrophe for the Jewish people. In 1492, after the fall of the last Islamic kingdom, Granada, Spain's rulers Ferdinand and Isabella issued a decree. Jews must convert or leave Spain within 3 months. The result: 50,000 converted. 200,000 were forced into exile. Jews were forbidden to take gold, silver, or valuables, leaving behind homes and nearly all possessions. Exiled Jews fled to Morocco, Egypt, Turkey, Palestine, Italy, Portugal, Holland, and Eastern Europe. Historical accounts describe their suffering: famine, robbery, pirate kidnapping, families torn apart, disease outbreaks, death at sea. The Jewish community that had flourished in Spain for 700 years was destroyed. The center of Jewish life shifted from Western Europe to Eastern Europe and the Eastern Mediterranean. The Jewish ghetto, a wall of exclusion and a refuge of identity after Jews dispersed from Palestine. They often voluntarily lived together for mutual aid. But starting in 1215, the Roman Church required Jews must live separately from Christians. In 1516, Venice established the first officially mandated Jewish ghetto, surrounded by high walls, sealed at night, entry and exit strictly controlled. overcrowded and unsanitary, prone to fires, subject to special head taxes. Despite harsh conditions, Jews still preferred the ghetto because it was their last protected space. The ghetto allowed Jewish autonomy, synagogues, schools, courts. Jews often said, "A child in the ghetto may lack food, but never education." The ghetto became a fortress of Jewish identity and cultural survival, resilience in the face of suffering. The Middle Ages were one of the darkest eras for Jews. But despite appearing submissive under oppression, they remained spiritually optimistic, confident, even proud. They believed they were God's chosen people. Suffering was divine discipline, not abandonment. A Messiah would someday come. Their nation would flourish again. This faith enabled them to rebuild life repeatedly. Property confiscated, they rebuilt wealth. Driven from home, they created new communities elsewhere. Bodies oppressed, their spirit remained unbroken. As long as their spirit survived, the Jewish people would never be destroyed.